Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to week 3 of Draw Something with Andy. That's me. Um, I hope you can all hear me okay. I just started using a new mic. I just got a new mic. My laptop's mic doesn't work as well as I would hope, so I got a new mic that plugs into it. I'm hoping the sound quality is good, and hopefully you can all hear me okay. Um, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until I get my first request. This is a drawing by request show. I take requests from people in the chat who are watching, and I just put it here on the paper. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and just draw some of my own characters just to get the ball rolling. So I think to start, I'm gonna go ahead and draw. One of my characters is named Hush, the Lord of Silence. He is basically designed as a quarter rest, but with eyes. He doesn't have a mouth because, as you would expect, the Lord of Silence does not speak. So let me go ahead and start off here with the rest design. Anyone who attended band or music class at one point is going to be very familiar with this. Now I'm going to draw his eyes, which are like these, they got these, kind of like these semicircles that have this, curvy line at the top. And his eyes are like these whole rest. Actually, yeah, it's a whole rest. So those are his pupils. And one of the things about Hush is that since he doesn't have a mouth, he doesn't talk, he's not vocal. He has to compensate. He has these really big hands because he communicates in sign. So in order to have the maximum effect with his sign language, he has giant hands. And on top of that, he also has super, super soft feet that make no sound when he touches the ground. He really tries to sell the whole silence thing because he is the master of it. So let me go ahead and start tracing over this, make those lines solid. So yeah, the book this character first showed up in was DJ Mike in The Sum of All Mirrors, and the story in that one is that this guy Hush ends up freezing something called the Great Ball, which is this giant mirror ball out in the middle of the universe that allows music to exist, and because he freezes the Great Ball, music stops existing, no one has music anymore, and so DJ Mike has to set out to bring the music back, because he can't have a gig if he doesn't have music to play. And at one point, he and DJ Mike end up having an epic, you could call it a sign language battle. They're just waving their hands and arms viciously, just trying to outdo each other in terms of who can do the best signing. So yeah, let's see. Alright, so I got his hands, I got his body, I got his arms. I'm just gonna fill in his legs. Hold on, I'm actually gonna check something here really quick. Alright, I should be live on 3 different platforms right now. I've been doing Twitch and YouTube. I've also been trying to do Facebook, but it hasn't really worked out the last 2 weeks. I'm hoping that I can get that to work eventually, but for right now, I'm just doing Twitch and YouTube. I know that those for sure I'm live on. But yeah, it looks like. And thank you, DJ Mike Brady, for the update. I guess I'm not on Facebook still. It's weird because Restream says that Facebook is online. I don't have any viewers, but I'm online on Facebook. So I don't know what's up with that. All right, let me go ahead and finish tracing over the feet here. These feet made of some otherworldly substance that makes zero noise when it comes in contact with something. Like, I think, like, even, like, cotton, I think, still makes a noise when you throw it at something. Like, it makes a very soft noise, but it still makes a noise. This substance, it touches the floor, you don't get any noise whatsoever. It is completely, utterly silent. No noise, nothing. But yeah, there you go. Big hands, super soft feet, whole rests for pupils. His entire body is a quarter rest. That is Hush, the Lord of Silence. Let me just write out his name here. And you can't just call him Hush or the Lord of Silence. You have to say the entire long name because you gotta show respect to the Silence Master. Alright, so that's my... Alright, so that's how I'm going to start it off, is just drawing some of my characters. Again, this show is drawing by request. I will absolutely, if you want to drop a request in the chat, I will absolutely draw it up for you. But in the meantime, I'll just keep drawing characters I've made over the years. Alright, so the next character I'm going to draw is from a book series I made when I was in high school, I think. Yeah, it was high school, called Future Boy. So it takes place in the year 2475, and the setting is a place called Futuropolis, which, I mean, what else could it possibly be? It's the future, so Futuropolis. So basically, it's a pretty standard superhero origin story. This ordinary kid suddenly gets superpowers, and he has to stop these bad guys that show up. And in the first book, the bad guys of the story end up being these guys called the Technocops, which are these robot policemen that patrol the future, but then they suddenly go corrupt, and it's up to Future Boy to save everyone. So let me go ahead and draw this guy out here. So he has a hat on, and his hat has a little antenna with a flashing ball on top. Kind of has these rounded rectangles for eyes, with these pupils that are these big round, just kind of these standard big round pupils. These angry eyebrows, because, I mean, it says in the book, I wrote in the book that even when they're happy, they just always have a permanent scowl on their faces. They are just very, very serious. Of course, it could also just be that they're secretly evil, and they don't, but, I mean, honestly, I don't think that's really an excuse. There are evil villains who smile and cackle and laugh. I think these guys are just jerks. They're just not, they're fun suckers. They don't feel joy. They're just kind of sticks in the mud, basically. So he's got a big angry frown there. Go ahead and draw his top here with his arms. And I got his hands here. And I don't think they originally had badges in the book, but I'll go ahead and give him a badge anyway, just for fun. So I'll just say it's the Futuropolis Police Department, FPD. All right, I'll go ahead and draw his legs here. And there's his feet. And yeah, that's the Technicolor basically. Oh yeah, and he also has a bat. He also has this little triangle on his hat, and that right there is a Technicop. And I think just to add to the effect, I'm gonna go ahead and draw Future Boy, since he is the hero of this story. So let me go ahead and add him in here. Got a round head. He's got this pointy hairdo. He's got these two circles for eyes. Go ahead and draw him smiling there, giving a toothy grin. Add some pupils to the eyes. And he wears this mask over his eyes, and of course, naturally, no one can tell it's actually him. His real name is, he's a kid named Tommy, but literally no one can tell that it's him. Whenever he has this mask on, it's Future Boy. There's just, like, that mask makes a world of difference. You think that, that far into the future, people would, be smart enough to not be fooled by a simple mask, but what are you going to do? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish drawing Future Boy here, drawing the upper body here, drawing the arms and the shirt. Then I draw him some legs. Gonna draw his initials on his shirt. FB. That's another funny thing I wrote in the original book was when he's gotten his superpowers and he's deciding to become a superhero, he ends up sewing, he ends up knitting or embroidering this shirt with the letters F and B, and then he comes up with the name Future Boy after that. Like, he doesn't come up with the name and then put F and B on his shirt. He says F and B. Huh, what superhero name has those letters? Oh yeah, Future Boy. I wrote it when I was 15, or actually 15 or 14 or 15. That was kind of my writing back then, just, All right, so there's Future Boy coming to save the day from the evil Technicop. Let me go ahead and write his name down. All right, so there we go. Let me go ahead and switch over to the drawing cam here so you can get a closer view of it. Yep. Future Boy, Technicop, hero, villain. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and check again to make sure. All right, looks like I got 2 viewers on Twitch and 1 viewer on YouTube. And I got my first request. DJ Mike Brady wants to see a fancy giraffe with a top hat and monocle. That sounds amazing to me. I will totally draw that. All right, let me see here. Go ahead and make sure my pencil lead is out far enough. It's always awkward when it's not. All right, so let's see here. We'll go ahead and draw a giraffe. I've not an animal I've drawn a lot. I mentioned last week on my stream that one of my older books that I made called Origami Adventures. The mayor of the origami city is a giraffe, but it's an origami giraffe, so it's not. I'm gonna try and draw like a real cartoon giraffe, not one made of paper. So let's see here. I got the head here. I'm gonna draw the eye. I'm tracing it over for now. I'm just sketching it. I'm not gonna fully trace over it until I feel good about how it looks. I used to just draw it and not do this whole sketching and then tracing it over, but that's something I prefer to do now. I feel like it ends up making for a better final product. All right, so I'm gonna picture this giraffe as kind of the snobbish type, so he's not gonna be smiling, because smiling, only simpletons smile. No, this guy is wise. He's going to be very, very proper, and proper people do not smile. Emotions are for flibs. Okay, I don't know what a flib is. All right, so let me see here. So we got his monocle there. Yes, DJ Mike Brady, smiling is so undignified. Shudders. All right, so I got the head here. I'm gonna go ahead and draw the neck. I've told a couple of people recently that I feel like, you know, if there were, I'm not. Full disclosure, I'm not the biggest fan of animals. I've never been a huge animal person, but I do actually kind of have a soft spot for the animals that are on the more exotic side. I like seeing elephants because they're just so incredibly huge. It's amazing how big they are. And also giraffes because it's crazy how long their necks are. I can't imagine having your head that far above your body. So yeah, I like giraffes, and that's the kind of animal I would actually like to see in person, just to be like, wow, that's a thing that's a creature that exists in this world. That's crazy. All right, so go ahead and just draw the body here. I already got the neck and the head, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw the body. Go ahead and draw the feet here. Make his body a little thicker than that. All right. Go ahead and give him a couple extra legs here. All right, there we go. And he's got to have a loop-de-doo tail, kind of a squiggle. Has a little poof at the end of it. Gonna go ahead and add a chain here to the monocle to make it a little more clear it's a monocle. Oh, and wow, I almost forgot the top hat. Let me go ahead and add that too. All right, top hat. On my first stream, I drew several. I actually ended up drawing several animals with top hats. So it's good to have another top hat animal to join the club. Hey, Fergal F. Ferguson, nice to see you. So glad you could make it. All right, top hat, monocle. I'm going to go ahead and start tracing them over. I think it's ready for that. So yeah, Fergal, if you didn't already know, this is DJ Mike Brady's request for a giraffe wearing a top hat and monocle. And yes, I agree, DJ Mike Brady, there needs to be one fancy animal per show. I mean, I didn't draw any animals with top hats last week, but I did draw the shark that was wearing a chef hat. I think it's called a toque. He was pretty styling with that toque. And he was French. He was Le Chef Shark. He wasn't just any shark that was wearing a chef hat. He was a Le Chef Shark. So yeah, I'd say he was a fancy animal. So I think the track record's still going strong. We have at least one per show. All right. Just tracing over the body here. Got the legs. I'm going to draw the spots here in a second. All right. Go ahead and finish tracing over the body. Go ahead and get the monocle. His completely muted facial expression. That mouth is not going to move 1 millimeter up or down. It is going to stay completely stoic because feelings are for imbeciles. And this giraffe is no imbecile. No, 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 no. All right, got his little. I don't want to call them antennae because it doesn't sound right. But I'm not really sure what those things are called. I might have to look that up on Wikipedia after this. Unless someone in the chat wants to look it up for me and drop it in the chat, what those little things on the giraffe's head are. But here we go. We got a top hat. Oh, they're antlers? Are they actually called antlers? Okay. I wouldn't have thought that. I was thinking, when I think antlers, I think of like just those big, huge horns that just spread out in all different directions. Wouldn't have really thought of those as antlers, but okay, learn something new every day. Thank you, DJ Mike Brady. Alright, gonna go ahead and draw the chain for the monocle, because proper. It's not a monocle without a chain. Oh, really? Its antler is the land roofer antennae. That's another new thing I learned today. Let me see, Ferguson. This is the kind of sophisticated draft that invests money but knows what it's doing instead of just following our Wall Street bets. That is correct. Yeah, this draft knows what he's doing. He's a snob. He's emotionless. He looks down at everyone else. He's not really a fun person to be around or a fun animal to be around, but he knows what he's doing. That is for certain. He is definitely what you could call competent. All right, so I'm going to draw the little poof here on his tail. And now I'm going to start adding some spots. There we go. All right. Oh, yeah, Ferguson. Yeah, wow, I didn't even put that together until you mentioned it. Yeah, he does literally look down at everyone else. I mean, even if he wasn't a snob, I guess that's why he is a snob. He already is looking down at everyone else, so he might as well embrace that snobbish attitude since his body already kind of forces him to do that anyway. This is getting deep. I've never thought. I'm learning so many new things about drafts today. And it is all thanks to DJ Mike Brady's request. If anyone else wants to drop a request for me to draw something next, please do so. Please drop it in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up here. All right, so I think I'm pretty much done drawing the animal, but something I do like to often do on this show is add in some extra little annotations, my own little personal touches. Let me just go ahead and kind of make some little annotations here. Long neck, science. Ferguson, those sexes. Okay, so according to Ferguson, both sexes have prominent horn-like structures called ossicones. Okay, that's what they are, which are formed from ossified cartilage covered in skin and fused to the skull at the parietal bones. Being vascularized, the ossicones may have a role in the thermoregulation and are also used in combat between males. I now I want to see two giraffes fighting each other because that's funny. So I'm gonna go ahead and then, with thanks to Ferguson's information in the chat, I'm gonna go ahead and classify these as high class weaponry. These you don't want to mess with these. All right, so yeah, he has his monocle. Lack of any emotion whatsoever. Yeah, ESPN needs to do that. They need to figure out how to get draft combat on the air. All right, so go ahead and just draw a couple other animals here that are just kind of standing well below this animal stature. DJ Mike Brady, that's hilarious. All right. So I'm drawing these animals here that are just kind of staring up at this behemoth, but they're not necessarily upset. They're actually happy because they're content with where they are in life. They're totally fine just kind of being on a lower level because they're free from the stress of being important. Just basic social commentary here. I'm not going to go too deep with it. But yeah, I got a dog and a cat that are just looking up, and this guy's just kind of up in the air, like really high up in the air. Like this isn't really to scale. This is only, you know, kind of like it's only kind of implying just how tall his neck actually is. He's actually kind of above the clouds. His head is above the clouds. In fact, he's actually he actually ends up actually going above the Earth's atmosphere. I'm going to draw the Earth's atmosphere here. He literally transcends the Earth's atmosphere. Make sure that's on this camera here. Earth's atmosphere. So yeah, he's not just really tall. He's one of the very few living organisms that can exist both on Earth and in space. We got a transosphere giraffe organism. All right, but I think that's gonna do it. I think we got the giraffe with the top hat and monocle. He reaches his head way up in space, and he does it in style. Style! All right. So I think I'm going to call it good on that. This is for DJ Mike Brady in the chat on Twitch. And there we go. I like it. Thank you, DJ Mike Brady, for the request. All right. So I think for now, I'm going to go ahead and just draw another one of my characters. By all means, I'm going to go ahead and draw... And you don't have to request for me to draw, but it would make the show more fun. So I'm really just doing this for your entertainment. So, but I can keep drawing just some of my thing me to draw. All right, start by drawing the helmet for the Viking. A little bit of an arc at the bottom. Even if said Viking is a little webbed foot animal. That ducks are fuzzy. Well, baby ducks are fuzzy. Actually, I'm thinking of not chicks. I'm thinking of chickens. That's not the same as a duck. Two different birds. So a duck. Let me go ahead. Draw the mouth here. Do on this show. I tried drawing soccer ball. Yeah, it's not really looking like a soccer ball, but it is a soccer ball. Black and white spots are distinguishable from each other. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of I'm gonna go ahead and draw his eyes peeking from under his helmet. All right. Okay. I suppose. I was like, "Arg, fly me!" All right. Birds, but this is no ordinary duck. This is a Viking duck. He's he's worked long and hard on this beard. He's been growing it for several months. All right, there. Trying to think if I have any other suggestions with what I can add to this. My and I want to make this as good as it possibly can for you. So, do you have any other ideas for this? Ball. He's getting really into the game. All right, battle off. All right, let me just go with the battle axe shape here. All right, this is what I picture. Just going against each other, connected with these two lines. And let me go ahead and have this rugged wooden stick to secure it. And all right, I think that does it. Wing, I guess you could say. I'm actually gonna go ahead and redraw the tip of the wing here so that it looks like he's actually holding onto it. There we go. All right, I got one more thing to add in here. Giggles. Valhalla! Thank you, Fergal. I appreciate Axe's actually looked like historically, but for right now, I will go ahead and call this done. This was a request for an axe because even no one's notice. That's what I just I let's not take it too seriously. All right, but I'm gonna go. Once again, if you have a request for what you want me to draw, please drop it in the chat below or to the side, wherever the chat is, wherever you're watching. This is a by request show. I am totally willing to draw whatever you throw at me as a request. For right now, though, I'm going to go ahead and finish this robotic snowman. And saying earlier, this is from the book series I made, a book series I made years ago called Future Boy. This is the hero, Future Boy, and this is one of the villains from the first book I wrote, the Technicop. So, the Technicops were the, hey, Areza0519, how are you doing tonight? Good to see you here. Thank you so much for coming. So yeah, the book takes place in the future. These are originally the patrolmen that keep the city in order, but then they suddenly become books I wrote in the Future Boy series, intimidating all the residents of Antarctica. I've always done it. I do occasionally, go the extra mile and show me do that cupcake. Danny from, all right, so Danny and Braylon as Barbies. It's better in twos. All right, and I think that'll do it. Or my sister Danny, or as I'm going to refer to her, DJ Danny B. And there we go. Danny, if you're out there watching, I'd love to hear what you think of this. Let me go ahead and bring up the full drawing cam view. And make sure I got as much of it on the camera as possible. All right, just going to keep this on the screen for a couple seconds longer, see if Danny has a response to it. All right. Christina, Areza0519, I don't know if you're still watching, but I can still totally draw your cat chasing a cupcake. Let me go ahead and get started on that here. All right, so let me go ahead and draw the head first. Oh, good to hear, DJ Mike Brady and Danny and Bray. I'm glad you love it. I will. I can probably get that colored. I'm gonna have all my drawings that I do tonight. What I do is I color them in and I post them on my social media accounts. If you look over here, I have my Facebook and Instagram accounts. I post the colored versions of my drawings there on those two accounts. And for the Barbies drawing right here, I can Danny and Bray, I can totally colorize this and give each of you a copy of it. And all right, Areza0519 is here, so I will go ahead and draw her request. Earlier I drew a Happy Cupcake for Marilyn. I'm going to go ahead and now draw not so happy Cupcake being pursued by a feline. A hungry feline. Gonna go ahead and give him just these big ol' eyes with really big pupils. I'll even have some jagged whiskers because he's going nuts. He hasn't eaten and he's gone on a fast and he's regretting going on said fast. He thought it was a good idea. He thought he'd help him become a better cat, and instead now he's literally ready to eat his arm off. But then he sees this cupcake walking by and he's kind of like, you know what? I think that looks better than my arm. I'll go ahead and eat that instead. But the cupcake doesn't really want to be eaten, so begins the chase. I gotta have his tongue hanging out and drooling. He is salivating over the thought of eating this delicious cupcake. So there we go. And I think Areza also wanted to be kind of a chubby cat, so let me go ahead and make him a little bulky. Alright, gonna go ahead and draw his arms here. Gonna draw his legs, gonna add some claws. He's got his claws out, he means business. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna draw his other leg too. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna draw this cupcake who is... So normally I would draw typically with just kind of this nice little swirl on top, just this decorative little swirl. But because this cupcake is just so totally losing his mind being chased by this predator, his swirl is kind of turned into a... it's turned into this. He's just kind of... It's this big explosion now. He's really freaking out here. So let me go ahead and add the pupils here. There we go. I'm not going to worry about making this cupcake anatomically correct either. And maybe he was anatomically correct, but just from sheer terror, a couple of his fingers and toes shrunk into his skin. It's a little morbid, I'm sorry. But yeah, like he's really terrified here. He's running for his life. This cat is on his tail, if he had a tail. But yeah, here we go. We got a terrified cupcake running for its life from this big old cat. Save me! Save me! Must eat cupcake. I misspelled cupcake. All right. All right, there we go. And that is a request. That was a request from Areza0519. Let me go ahead and bring it up on the full view drawing cam. So yeah, Cupcake being chased by a fat cat. Reza, if you're still watching, I hope you're happy with this. If you want me to add anything else to it, oh, there you go. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. All right, going back to the main view here. All right, so there might have, you know, if someone else has made a request that I haven't gotten to yet, please let me know. I may have forgotten it in the process of doing other requests. I know that one viewer on YouTube named Boogie wanted me to draw a dash cube. I'm not sure about the dash part, but I can just draw a cube. So let me go ahead and do that. So just a basic six-sided cube. But I'm going to go ahead and take some creative liberty here and make it a wrapper cube. Go ahead and give him a little backwards cap here. Give him some shades. That looks a little odd. There we go. He's got his mouth open like, woo, what you looking at? And of course I gotta give him some bling. You can't be a gangster without bling. Although I'm drawing these, you know, little bead bling rings in a circular, and this guy's a cube, so I feel like it should be square. These should be square beads or rings or whatever. So we go ahead and make him square. He's gonna have some square bling up in here. And there's the big centerpiece right there. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a couple hang loose hand signals. All right, yeah, there we go. So what we got here is the Gangsta Cube. Hashtag Mo Sides, Mo Problems. And yeah, there we go. So we go ahead and... Alright, Boogie was the one who requested the cube. And thank you, DJ Mike Brady. Yes, if you're liking the show, please click follow. I would love to see you all again. And I don't really have... So I start at 7 p.m. Pacific on Wednesday evenings. The way I've been doing this, I haven't really had a set stop time. I usually just kind of wait until... Usually it's like around 8:30 is probably the latest I'll go. Thank you, DJ Mike Brady. Been going for about close to an hour and a half now, so If anyone wants to throw in one last request, I can totally draw that. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and just finish the snowman that I started a while ago. And I think after I finish the snowman, I'll go ahead and I think I'll go ahead and call it a night. Actually, I'm going to draw the snowman, and I'm going to also draw his commander, more or less, the evil Ice Queen, Queen Pearl, who has an evil plan to melt Antarctica and flood the world. So let me go ahead and draw her here. So yeah, in the book, she's apparently 14. There's no real explanation as to how she suddenly got to take over Antarctica or who made her snowman or anything. It's just kind of you just kind of accept that, you know, this is an evil teenager, you know, taking over an entire country. And now the hero, Future Boy's got to stop her. So I'm just going to trace over what I've sketched out. Gonna get her crown in there. I like those flame emotes, DJ Mike Brady. You don't want to, a super secret thing about Queen Pearl is you don't want to get her too close to heat. Ironic, yeah. I mean, Antarctica is kind of the fitting place for her because she, when she gets exposed to heat, she kind of melts into a puddle, and that's that. It's kind of weird. Like, it's not really made clear if she's, you know, actually made of like a super form of ice, like a not genetically, just some kind of ice-like substance that can form human-like characters. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the book, she gets exposed to sunlight and she melts. So obviously, heat is kind of her kryptonite, more or less. All right, gonna add the eyelashes here. Go ahead and draw the eyes. Go ahead and add a couple of squiggly lines here to add some texture to the dress. And yeah, that is Queen Pearl. Actually, her full name is Queen Andrea Pearl. But she, you know, wants to be only called Queen Pearl. She's repulsed by the name Andrea. She wants nothing to do with that name. And this is one of her evil snowmen. All right. I think that is going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much to everyone who came by and dropped a request in the chat. I am going to be back here at 7 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, or next Wednesday. I will be back here at 7 p.m. Pacific. And I am really looking forward to it. This was another great show. So I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you again, everyone. I will have all of my drawings that I've done, all the drawings I did that were requested. Thank you, DJ Mike Brady. Let me bring that back up here. You are welcome, Fergal F. Ferguson. I had fun too. I'm so glad you appreciated test stream. And Areza0519, you are welcome. Thank you for coming. I can totally get you a colored copy of this. I'm gonna go ahead and color this along with all my other requested drawings. I'll probably get those colored in within the next couple days, and I will happily, Reza, I will give you a colored copy of it, printed out. Let me just go over a quick review of, I'll go ahead and do a review of all the drawings I did tonight, and then I'll go ahead and call it a night. So let me see here. So I think the first request of the night was, yeah, that's right. DJ Mike Brady started off with a monocle, a giraffe wearing a top hat and a monocle. He has no emotion because he's a snob. His antlers here, or there was some word. It started with an kissery or something. These are apparently high-class weapons, thanks to some research from Ferguson in the chat on Twitch. His neck is so long that he reaches out into the outer atmosphere. And then you have these animals that are standing way beneath him, but they're actually happy and humble, and they're totally fine, content with, being just where they are. And DJ Danny B requested her and her friend Braylon as Barbies at the beach. And there's a porpoise here in the background. Not a dolphin, it is a porpoise. Got some seagulls and a couple of crabs here and a parasol. Marilyn requested a Happy Cupcake. And here's the happy meter showing that the happy meter is indeed at its maximum level. This is a very happy cupcake. Ferguson requested a Viking Duck Playing Soccer, and I just added in a battle axe at his request, and of course you gotta have the beard. Arg, fly me spotted sphere into the blasted goal. Valhalla! And here's Reza's, once again, one more time, Reza's fat cat chasing a cupcake. And this was kind of inspired by a request for Boogie on YouTube. He wanted a dash cube. I didn't know what the dash part was, so I just drew a cube, and then I added some bling and a backwards hat to make him a gangsta cube. And then I just drawed a couple of my own characters. Hush the Lord of Silence, Future Boy in a Technicop, and then finally finishing off with Queen Pearl and one of her evil snowmen. All right, so I think that's everything. I will go ahead and bid you all adieu until next time. Again, I'm just going to say it one more time. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate the support that I've gotten over the last 3 weeks. And I look forward to week 4. So I don't really have anything else to say other than have a great night, everyone. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Take care.